Digital friends, we're back. The basics of art, the 7 elements of art are line, color, shape, value, texture, space, and form. I've got them all represented up here. Our last assignment, we learned how to draw straight lines in Photoshop. Next up, boys and girls, we are dealing with color and shape. And really what we're learning about is how to use layers in Photoshop. Now, what do I mean by layers? We've already set up our Photoshop file like this last week. Now, this assignment is called layer order. We are going to draw basic shapes, and then we're going to change the order of the layers. This, boys and girls, is the paper version of what I just showed you. These are the layers. We've got a yellow circle layer. We've got a red triangle layer. We've got a blue square layer. And this gray paper is the background layer. What I want you to do on 3 different layers, we are going to draw a blue square together. We are going to draw a yellow circle together. And then we are going to make a red triangle. After you've proven that you can do that on different layers, we can duplicate the layers and move the shapes around. Maybe we want the yellow circle on top of the red triangle and the blue square. Maybe I'll ask you to do the blue triangle in front of the red triangle, which is in front of the blue square. By showing these shapes overlapping, you guys are showing me that you understand how to manipulate the orders of the layers. And we're gonna do it like this. Kids, when you log into the computer and you log into your Photoshop file, this should be waiting for you in the cloud now. This was your last assignment, or your first assignment. If I click on that, there it is. If you shared the assignment with someone, you might need to share it again or start over. It's up to you. In Photoshop, we've got all these tools. What I want to click is the marquee tool. We've got all these options: rectangular, elliptical, single row, single column. If you click on rectangular and you hold it down, you can draw any shaped rectangle, long and skinny, tall and fat. If you click on shift and hold it and keep your finger on shift, no matter where you move the mouse, it will make a perfect square. Elliptical. If you're in 8th grade learning about seasons, you'll know that the Earth orbits the sun in an elliptical pattern. You can do fat ovals, skinny ovals, vertical ovals, but if you hold shift, it will always make a perfect circle. You can do a lot of things with that information. If I click off of it, there we go. What I want you to do is go down to here, the little plus sign in the layers column. If you click on plus, you're making a new layer, and you can see the eyeballs are turned on. What I'm going to do is make a square. I'm going to go to rectangular marquee. I'm in this layer. I'm going to click up in the corner, press shift and drag. There's a perfect square. Now I want to fill it, so I'll grab the paint bucket option. Yours might be hiding as a gradient, but if I click this and go to paint bucket, this is set to red. If I click red, anywhere in here I can move it. I want it gray. I want a neutral background. There's a pretty good gray. Click on gray, paint bucket, fill. If I click anywhere outside of that selected area, it's not going to fill. Let me do this. Instead of drawing 2 squares, let me make it a rectangle. It's selected. I've got my marching ants. If I click on paint bucket, fill, there we go. That is my gray layer. Can't see it? There it is. There's an eyeball. There. Can't see it, can see it. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna double click layer 1 and I'm gonna call this gray background. Done. Now I won't get confused. This background layer right here is your automatic. It's background, there's a lock button. I think if I click on lock, oh, well, you get the idea. Every time you click on the plus sign, you can make new layers. I don't want to do that. Control Z's. If I drag a layer down to the plus sign, it'll make a copy of that layer. If I drag this layer on top of my grayscale, if I drag my gray background below it, now that's on top, I can see it, I can't see it, I can see it. I'm gonna go here, go to normal, go to multiply, and now it's like a see-through picture. I can see the gray through the black lines. I'm gonna call this one, I'm gonna rename this layer line art, sure. Now, let me make a new layer. And I want this layer under line art, but above the gray background. I wanna make a blue square. So if I click anywhere around here, hold shift, that's pretty good. Let me change the color. That's a pretty blue. Fill with the paint bucket, there's a blue square. I'm gonna rename this layer, you'll never guess, blue square. Check. I can see it, I can't see it, there it is, there it is. I can, if I grab my move tool, oh, why did it do that? Let me go to line art. I don't know why it's always defaulting to line art, but I will click on lock, I will lock it. That layer won't move. So if I click on blue square, I can move this anywhere. If you look at the layer order, it's under the line art. I would agree with that, but it's over the gray background. I believe that too, right? Let me make a new layer. I'm gonna make a circle. If I click on elliptical and I hold shift, it will always make a circle. Let's make a yellow circle. Change the color, paint bucket tool, there's that layer. I can move this anywhere as long as my line art layer is locked. What should I call this layer? Yellow circle, sure. I'm gonna rename it yellow circle. Now I'm gonna take a new layer. Boys and girls, this tool right here is your lasso tool. I can draw any kind of free line shape like this and move it around. Oh my gosh, what just happened? I cut my yellow circle. Why didn't it cut the blue square? Because it's not on the blue square layer. Control, edit, undo. That was the free draw lasso. If you click on polygon lasso, a polygon is any closed shape made up of straight lines. This is an irregular polygon. Perfect. That tool comes in handy, but with the polygon lasso, I want to make a new layer right here. It's called layer 1. I want to make a triangle, and I want to make a red triangle. Change the color, drop it down to red, click, paint bucket, red triangle. What should I name this layer? Red triangle. There you go. If you're working in a layer, you will know it because it's highlighted in light gray. I want to make 2 more layers of red triangle. Here's one, here's one. I'm gonna call this one red triangle 2. I'm going to call this one red triangle 3. And now I wanna do that with my yellow circle. Duplicate it, make a copy, make another copy. I'm gonna rename this one yellow circle 2. I'm gonna name this one, I'm gonna name this one yellow circle 3. And now blue square, copy it, here we go. Blue square 2, blue square 3. Boys and girls, I am looking at a lot of layers at the same time. I don't really wanna do that right now. Let me get rid of red triangle 3 and 2. Let me get rid of yellow circle 3 and 2. Let me get rid of blue square 3 and 2. And now I'm just dealing with that. To change up the layer order, I want to do this. In this square right here, I want the red triangle on top. I want the yellow circle in the middle. I want the blue square underneath those. That shows me that you understand layer order. If I move these layers and manipulate them, if I do red triangle in the layers under yellow circle, that happens. If I do blue square above yellow circle, that happens. You can manipulate and change the layer order, and that's what this assignment's all about. What I want to do is come over here, merge down, and now these are all in the same layer. In fact, I'm going to call this one square 1, just so I don't lose it. Turn that eyeball off. Blue square 2, yellow circle 2, red triangle 2. Those are all visible. For this second square, I want red triangle last on the bottom. I want blue triangle in the middle above that, and I want yellow circle on the top. Well, to make blue square on top of red triangle, I can drag red triangle down here below blue square, and that shows layer order right there. If I stack these on top of each other and I highlight yellow circle, I can do merge down, and I can rename this layer square 2. Where'd square 1 go? It's right here. Where's square 2? Right there. Square number 3. What is an order we have not done yet? We have not done blue square on top. We have not done red triangle in the middle. We have not done yellow circle on the bottom like that. I need to move blue square above red triangle just like that. Merge down, and now we have it. Turn my eyeballs on. That shows basic shapes and it shows layer order. The last thing I need to do, you can come over here with your white pencil. Change that to white. I can erase, I gotta make sure I'm in the right layer. I can erase, it's locked, that's why. I can erase today's date and write the right date in, but what I really want you to do, make sure this is black, write the title of today's assignment, layer order. Maybe I'll make this one bigger, 72 points. Center it, that's it. File, save a copy, save to the Creative Cloud. I'll call this one assignment 2, save. I learned one other thing from another student this week. I love going into the computer lab and seeing happy accidents. This student told me this. If you go to File, Export as, you get this window, save it as a JPEG. And if you save that as a JPEG and click on Export, this JPEG will also go to the cloud. And when you save the JPEG to the cloud, that is what you can upload to your Canvas assignments. But that's it for this week. See you guys next time.